Defensive security versus offensive security versus GRC. Which cybersecurity domain is perfect for me? If you're a student or switching your career into cybersecurity, I am sure you would have had this question at some point or maybe still have this question. You're constantly thinking which is the perfect cybersecurity domain for me. So this video is just for you. Hi everyone, my name is Meera Tamboli. I work in cybersecurity in the UK and I make lots of videos on cybersecurity and careers. If this is your first time coming to my channel, don't forget to subscribe because I am sure you will find lots of other helpful content. I'm sure you've come across lots of roadmaps and a lot of content online. And it's really confusing because one person talks about GRC and the stuff you should learn in GRC. Somebody else talks about ethical hacking and how hacking is cybersecurity and the roadmap to make your career in ethical hacking. But there are so many different domains in cyber and it gets so confusing, which is exactly why in this video, I'm going to break down all the different domains in cybersecurity that you should know about when you're starting out. And I promise you that if you watch this video till the end, you will know which cybersecurity domain is perfect for you. So firstly, let's talk about why this confusion even exists. So cybersecurity is not just one job. Ethical hacking is not cybersecurity. GRC analyst roles is not cybersecurity. Instead, cybersecurity is a whole ecosystem. You can do lots of different roles. And the truth is, there is no one perfect domain. When you're starting out in cybersecurity, you get so overwhelmed because it feels like a choice and a decision that you need to make. And you feel like you want to be aware of everything and make the perfect choice. But what I want to say to you is you don't have to get so overwhelmed by this. You should just kind of zoom out of the situation. Once you get entry into cybersecurity, you can elevate, change your domains and change your roles. And throughout the journey of your career, you can work in different roles. So it's not like if you decide to become a SOC analyst, that's it, you're stuck with that role. Or if you decide to become a pen tester, you're stuck with that role. Instead, you can actually switch domains. So the first thing I want to say is don't give a lot of stress and importance to just picking one cybersecurity subdomain. That doesn't mean that you study stuff aimlessly. Of course, there should be a path. What I'm trying to say is you can shortlist what you like and what you want to become, but it doesn't have to just be one particular role. So let's start with the basics. Cybersecurity can broadly be divided into three subdomains: defensive security, offensive security, and GRC. Let's discuss a little bit about what these job roles actually do. I'm not going to give you the same stuff that you know that defensive analysts defend and offensive analysts do the offensive stuff. Instead, I'm going to give you the points and the skills needed to become these particular roles, and listening to them, you can figure out which one you're good at. What is the thing that you are most interested in? So firstly, let's talk about defensive security. In defensive security, there are multiple job roles: SOC analyst, incident response, forensics, security engineering, and many more. And a normal day in the life of all these analysts usually revolves around stuff such as monitoring alerts, detecting things, investigating stuff, making things work better. This is what entails in this job role. These are the kind of skills that you will require in these job roles. So if you like problem solving, you like alerts and investigation related work, which is all detective like, and you like structured processes, having documentation, making playbooks, improving them, trying to improve the use cases, trying to find out different newer ways of investigation, then maybe defensive security is right for you. Another thing, if you're trying to find a job role in defensive security that is perfect for beginners and freshers, the most easy one is a SOC analyst. When you go and try to find entry-level job roles, you will see that most of them are SOC analyst openings. That is because that's a beginner-friendly entry level into defensive security careers. Now let's talk about the second one, that is offensive security. Now this is something most of you will see when you search stuff about cybersecurity online. You'll see stuff about different attacks and you will see the latest stuff happening in the cybersecurity landscape. You will see Kali Linux and brute forcing and all those kind of things. So everything under this falls under offensive security. So the different roles within offensive security is something like a malware analyst, something in reverse engineering, pen testers, ethical hackers, anybody working in the red team. All these job roles fall into offensive security. Now, what would the day look like for offensive security members? It'll be stuff like scanning systems, finding vulnerabilities, exploiting them, trying to prioritize and get them patched, reproducing the attack paths, diving deeper into malware and the attacks happening. This domain is right for you. If you are someone who likes deep technical work, you need to know the in-depth knowledge of attacks. Every role in cybersecurity needs to know about the attacks, but red teamers especially need to know in-depth because they are the ones who are going to hands-on perform these attacks, right? So if you are someone who likes to go in-depth, it's not enough for you to know the basics of a brute force attack, for example, but instead you're someone who is like, I want to try to do this on my own. So maybe red team is the right option for you. Now, speaking about the beginner-friendly roles in offensive security, the most easiest one you'll find in entry-level job roles is something called as a junior pen tester or junior ethical hacker. So these are the job-friendly roles for beginners. Now, let's talk about the third one, which is GRC, which is Governance, Risk and Compliance. Now, GRC is all about policies and risks and business impact and audits, frameworks. So if you are someone who's been watching this video so far, you heard me talk about defensive, you didn't really like it. You are like, I don't like this investigation kind of stuff. It's not for me. You also heard me talk about offensive and you were like, it's a little too technical for me. I don't think I want to go that in depth of things and break them and attack stuff. Then maybe GRC roles are right for you because this doesn't have direct technical work. While you need to understand the attacks and the technical controls and the different aspects in cybersecurity, you are not expected to actually go and attack a system or actually go and investigate an attack. Instead, you will be the person responsible for creating all these kind of policies and risks that the business is supposed to follow. Now let's talk about the different job roles under GRC. There is GRC analyst, risk analyst, compliance officer, security auditor, GRC consultant, compliance consultants, all these job roles fall under GRC. Now, talking about the beginner-friendly role or fresher roles within GRC, it's a little difficult because GRC is all about how there is going to be governance and how the business is going to work and how policies are going to be framed. So this is not a very necessarily beginner-friendly job role to get into because you're just a fresher and you don't have any as such experience in cybersecurity. So you will find much lesser openings for GRC roles as a beginner. What I can suggest to you is if you like GRC stuff, yes, you can try to find any GRC openings. If you get it, that's great. But if you're not getting it, I suggest you start your career with something else, something in a penetration tester or as a SOC analyst. Get 1 or 2 years of experience, understand how the world of cybersecurity really works, how attacks work, how security controls work, and then try to pivot your way into GRC by getting the necessary skills and certifications. Now let's talk about how you're going to identify a GRC is the right domain for you. If you like stuff related to documentation, having proper structure, if you enjoy communication, collaborating, getting on lots of calls, deciding the different policies, you want some good stability, you don't want very technical job roles, you're good at actually talking to technical and non-technical people, and you can actually talk to the wider stakeholders of any organization, then maybe GRC is right for you. By this point in the video, we have covered all the 3 different subdomains within cyber, and always remember these are broad subdomains. There's just so much to cybersecurity, but I'm trying to combine everything in this one video so that any beginner watching this doesn't have to refer to thousands of other places. This one video can help you decide which cybersecurity domain might be right for you. So just to recap something quickly, answer these questions as a yes or no in your head, and maybe the answer is somewhere in between, so note that down as well. So do you like deep technical work? If the answer is yes, offensive security is for you. If the answer is not too much, then maybe defensive is the answer for you. And if you are somebody who doesn't like technical stuff at all, then GRC is the answer for you. So I think choosing either defensive, offensive or GRC is pretty easy, right? If it's non-tech, it's easy because it's GRC. Now let's talk a little more about how to choose between defensive and offensive, because they both need you to understand attacks, they both need you to understand technical stuff and work. So my suggestion to you would be, if you're trying and struggling to choose between the both, what you can do is ask yourself this: will you be more interested to scan a network, find out the different devices on that network, try to exploit them, find out the vulnerabilities in them? Or are you someone who wants to investigate stuff like detectives or the police do? Do you want to find out the different logs? Do you want to detect patterns, analyze what may have happened, do a root cause analysis and try to identify who has caused this attack in the first place? So listening to all these descriptions, you would already know somewhere in your gut that I like one more than the other, right? So that's your answer. And the good part is that you don't have to be very fixated on this. Don't be very stressful about it. You can, like I said earlier in the video, you can switch your domains within Cyber once you have actually cracked a career in cybersecurity. So just remember, your first role is not going to lock your entire future and it's not going to decide what you need to do. My suggestion is you explore all the different subdomains. Even if you like one domain, Spend time exploring what the other domain does, and who knows, maybe you start liking the other domain at some point. And even if you don't, it's important to have knowledge of every single subdomain if you're working in cybersecurity. I have already created a roadmap of becoming a SOC analyst and also of doing a GRC career. If you haven't seen those videos, you can check that out after this video because it might help you to get started. I hope this video gave you some good clarity and helped you decide what you want to do. You can take your time, evaluate the different stuff we spoke about today, and also try and make a pro-con list of what you enjoy more. And if you're still confused, just give yourself time. Like, just try to explore one subdomain in 1 month. So let's say if it is January 2026, this month I spend for offensive security. If it's February 2026, then I spend that month doing defensive security. If it's March 2026, I spend that time doing GRC. So each of these months, I'm actually exploring what happens in this subdomain, what are the job roles, what work they do. I will actually download and set up some of the tools or read the documentation, read the latest attacks happening around this. And by the end of these 3 months, you will have easily figured out what subdomain really interests you. And you would have also learned so many things. So you will in both the situations. So my final advice, don't choose a subdomain in cyber just because somebody else is doing it. Don't choose a subdomain in cyber just because you think it's going to pay more. And don't get very stressed. Cybersecurity is a journey. So enjoy it, learn as much as you can. And I really hope this video helped you. Thank you so much. And don't forget to subscribe to my channel. See you next time.